When we're born again, how much of Yeshua do you think you resemble? Are you kidding me? I mean, you know how ridiculous that is? I mean, maybe a little 8-year-old, little innocent little 8-year-old who comes forward, but if you're a murderer like a guy I know, or if you're a mobster like a guy I know who's now a pastor, who used to send millions and millions of dollars of drugs from Miami to Jersey, if you're like that and your heart breaks, you give your life, you think at that point you're like Yeshua? Come on. All things are new, but let me tell you what God does. He doesn't only bring you forward. He goes back and carves some stuff out. Stuff has to be carved out. There's a lot of decay in that heart. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's not like you just go on with your new little heart and go, well, I'm saved. This is cool. Now, I'll go to a church and I'll teach all Sunday school. First of all, when do you get off teaching Sunday school? You're born again. You're a baby yourself. That'd be the day I let a baby teach babies. Paul says in his letters, don't be so quick to teach. I'm only telling you. You might think that's harsh. That's what he said. I'm telling you, this is not my opinion. I'm not some lunatic. The ravings of a madman. I'm telling you what the Bible says. You might get mad at me because you think I'm some big-mouth Jew from New York, but guess what? Paul was a big-mouth Jew from Tarsus. You see how politically correct he was in Acts? You son of the devil. How long? Be blind. You don't think that's in the governor's office? How politically correct is that? So look at John 17 through 19. I've said this a lot of times, but I'll say it again because people learn through repetition. Yeshua prayed 3 times publicly. He prayed many times, but we don't know how many times. And we don't have any documentation of his prayer. So all we have is 3 prayers in the Bible that Yeshua voiced. That's all we got. 2, Matthew 11, John 11, go home and look at them. I'm not taking anything away, but they're very basic. There's nothing to glean from them. It's a prayer of thanks. Not nothing, forgive me. But what I'm saying is there's no great teaching on those 2-sentence prayers. This is 26 verses, 26-sentence prayer, a very long prayer. And he prays it right before he's arrested and killed. So these are his last words. And in this prayer, I'm giving you a section, so please read the whole prayer because I like context. But he says, set them apart for holiness. Now, if all Paul was saying in 1 Thessalonians 5 is what Yeshua said, he didn't invent it. It's not like God told Paul there's a new thing. Paul didn't say anything new. I should not say anything new. You shouldn't say anything new. Say what's said. That's what he told in Matthew 23 when he told people, you might say, why do they call you rabbi? It says in Matthew 23, don't call anybody rabbi because you are so unstable and so unknowledgeable in the scriptures, you don't know how to read in context. He also said, don't call anybody father. Your kids call you father? Did not Paul say I was a father? That sounds like we got some spiritual schizophrenia. Pal, I could care less what you call me, but at least know the scriptures. He was talking to the 12 disciples. Rabbi meant my great one in the first century. It meant teacher. Paul said in Ephesians 4:11, there'd be teachers. We need teachers. What the issue was is he was saying to the disciples, don't start your own schools. Peter, don't start your own academy. Teach exactly what I taught. That's what he was saying. Don't be called father, priest. Don't be called. He could have said anything. Don't be called pastor. Don't start your own stuff. Don't start your denominational junk. Teach what I taught. Nothing more, nothing less, which is basically don't